All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing from Phoenix. James Tiernan and Craig Janzik will have the front row. James Harris, Richie Joplin on the second row. Carlos Steele, DP Riggins on the third row. William Mann Jr., Steven Shepard on the fourth row. Russell Worth, Nick Sorensen rounding out your top 10. Albie Ewan starting in 11th. Mark Dantuma in 12th. Gerald Thanos Poole starting in 13th. Hey, good evening, Kevin. How's it going? Other Kevin Reed, there's a lot of Kevins. Just waiting on one more driver to take to the grid here. 80 laps around Phoenix. This is going to be fun. A mostly flat track, very little banking, plus the open dogleg configuration that always causes a little bit of chaos. Tiernan tries to beat the pace car off pit road. Here we go. All the drivers are off pit road, stacking up, getting ready for the drop of the green. It does happen from time to time, Kevin. The pace car is in now. The long drive back to the start-finish line. Tire wear likely going to be an issue here tonight. I believe I was hearing about basically 1% per lap. Here we go through the restart zone, waiting. Green flag is in the air. They're down and away at Phoenix. Craig Janzik and James Tiernan shoot the... Holy cow, we've got guys shooting through the infield. Carlos Steele shot it back up onto the track, but Janzik and Tiernan have a close call through the dogleg. Craig Janzik quickly to the lead. Word is that Janzik has never actually raced one of these cars in officials. However, he's got a 5,000 plus I rating, almost 6,000, 59.49. I don't think he's doing too bad. Tiernan Curley in second. Richie Joplin and James Harris battle for third. Richie pulling ahead. Carlos Steele moving up to the high side behind Richie. DP Riggins in sixth. William Mann Jr. in seventh. Steven Shepard eighth. Nick Sorensen of GT3 NSS currently runs in ninth place. Russell Worth in 10th. Janzik just set the fastest lap so far tonight, last time by. Tire wear will start to become an issue. Lap times will start dropping before long. Janzik is tough to beat at this track, and pretty much any car he is in. I've raced against him here in trucks. He is very difficult to beat. Tiernan, it's going to be an interesting battle between these two drivers. Mark Dantuma is on the move now, up into 10th place. After starting in 12th, making his way forward. Gerald Poole has also moved up into 12th place. Dantuma in 10th. Carlos Steele has gone to pit. Oh, what the heck happened? Let's see if we can see what happened to Carlos here. It looks, oh, he was going down under Harris. Gets loose and manages to recover at that time. Next time by, Carlos looks on the high side, gets loose through the turn, and ouch! Into the attenuator at the end of the pit road. That is a hard lick. Craig Janzik currently in second, Richie Joplin third, James Harris fourth, DP now up into fifth, Steven Shepard in sixth, Nick Sorensen, the GT3 driver, up to seventh place. You got to think that car control you have driving those GT3s is going to be huge here tonight. Russell Worth now up into 8th. Dan Tuma to 9th. William Mann Jr. slipping back into 10th. Craig still up front. Tiernan still right there with him. They are starting to pull a gap now. 1 second over Richie Joplin. James Harris to 4th. DP Riggins into 5th. Interesting note, Richie Joplin was not here the first couple races of the season, yet has fought his way up to 13th, continues making his way up. Same with Steven Shepard, who's in 11th, and Russell Worth in 10th in points. Mark Dantuma now having to deal with William Mann Jr. and Russell Worth. Dantuma not able to get by yet. These cars are awfully loose. You have to be very gentle on the power. Janzik has got it figured out though. He has got a 7/10 second lead already over Tiernan. Richie Joplin still hanging out about 1 second back. Harris in 4th. DP in 5th. DP starting to make up some ground now on Harris. Janzik's first race with the lead, 12 laps in, has definitely shown he is fast here tonight. Tiernan came into tonight 4th in points. Janzik obviously raced 7. Janzik is not going to be a factor in the points here, but Carlos Steele, James Harris, and James Tiernan. James Harris 2nd in points. Carlos Steele 3rd. James Tiernan 4th, with Stephen Gibson not here tonight. That points battle is going to close up, but Carlos Steele is going to lose 3rd place easily to Tiernan. It appears that Steele is out of the race. And I just realized Craig is running a Lexus. Richie Joplin back in 3rd, had been gaining on Tiernan, but since has lost the ground now. 1.2 seconds back. James Harris 4th, DP Riggins currently in 5th. Tire wear really starting to show. Janzik is 7/10 of a second off his fastest lap. Tiernan now 8/10 of a second off. Richie 7/10 of a second off. So most of these guys have dropped 7 to 8/10 of a second on their lap times in 16 laps. Flat tracks will eat the right sides up. Steven Shepard back in 6th place, pulling away. Sorensen now up to 7th as Mark Dantuma in 8th on his bumper. Let's take a lap around with Dantuma. Past the Geico restart zone, down the front straightaway, across the start-finish line. Down through the dogleg towards turn 1, where it used to be 3 and 4. Almost to Sorensen's bumper there. Gets blinded by the light, but gets the run down to the bottom. Has to fight the car being a little bit loose. Down into the new 3 and 4. Gets a little bit of a push. Can Sorensen come back by? He cannot. Looks like Dan Tuma clears. Mark now into 7th place. Richie in 3rd. DP Riggins coming by James Harris to take 4th. And it looked like a quick and easy pass. Meanwhile, William Mann Jr. and Russell Worth having one heck of a battle. Oh, Russell's loose. Nice save by Russell Worth. Holy cow, that car was out of shape. Let's take a look at that from another angle here, folks. They had been side by side, back and forth for several laps. And Russell just across the start-finish line, the back just snaps on him right through the kink, but he holds it and keeps rolling. Meanwhile, Richie Joplin in 3rd place has started to make up some ground on James Tiernan and Craig Janzik. Tiernan has closed right up on Janzik. Now it's half a second. Richie closing in. 21 laps into this one, and things really starting to heat up here. Not necessarily going to be who can make the fastest laps here late in the run. This is going to come down to who can maneuver the car. Who's still got a little bit of grip as Mark Dantuma has started to battle it out with Steven Shepard. Looks like Dantuma has managed to hold on to a little bit more tire than most of his competitors. Could not get by that time. Nick Sorensen also still lurking from 6th, 7th, and 8th. Still a nose-to-tail battle. That's also allowing William Mann Jr. to reel him in. Janzik is now holding Tiernan about 0.6 of a second, but Richie Joplin getting down under a second now to James Tiernan. DP Riggins now in 4th. James Harris now back to 5th. And this 3-car battle's still going as Mark Dantuma was looking for a pass. Sorensen right up by the wall. Dantuma's looking low again. Dantuma's got the nose in. Holy cow, this is going to get close. Man, they are inches apart coming off the turn. Shepard sends it in a little bit deeper, but Dantuma got on the brakes a split second earlier. May carry the momentum out of the turn. Dantuma down. Holy cow! Mark loses the back end coming up off the inside of the dogleg. Manages to hold on to it. And that's why this is the wrong version of Phoenix right there, folks. There's no need for a shortcut on a NASCAR track. Craig Janzik in the lead has pulled out to a 1-second gap again. About 1.1 from 2nd place Tiernan to 3rd place Joplin. DP is closing in on Joplin, chipping away a couple hundredths of a second at a time, but he's 1.6 back. Meanwhile, William Mann Jr. has caught up to this three-car battle. We knew he was closing the gap quickly. Junior closing right in. Steven Shepard using a much wider line through some of these turns. Looks like he is trying to conserve a little bit of tire, because when he doesn't, he is under attack. When he gets a little breathing room, he moves up the track a little bit. This time holds it a little bit lower off turn 2. And Dan Tuma is right back to the bumper. But I bet we don't see Mark hop back down onto the flat again anytime soon. And I spoke too soon. Mark dropped down there, opened the door. Sorensen almost got in there. Car's really starting to get loose off of turn 2 now. Janzik out front has pulled out a 1.7 second lead over Tiernan. Richie Joplin now in third, about 1 second behind and closing. DP Riggins has now fallen 1.9 seconds behind Richie. James Harris 2 seconds back. And Mark Dantuma gets the move here. He's got the run on the high side out of turn 2. Shepard fights back on the bottom. But Mark Dantuma pulls it off. He moves to 6th. Shepard back to 7th. Nick Sorensen currently sits in 8th. Shepard's looking to come back by. Boy, Shepard drove into 1 deep that time, trying to get the outside run. Nick Sorensen's going down to the bottom. He's trying to get the move here. Couldn't get enough momentum to get under Steven Shepard that time. William Mann Jr. staying up on the track. One advantage of staying up on the track, though, is when you drop to the apron and come back up, it does increase your tire wear. You're using your tires up much more quickly, especially that right front. Oh! I believe Mark Dantuma gave the wall a little bit of a kiss under the starter stand. Janzik, meanwhile, has continued to pull away. His gap now 2.6 seconds. It is a beautiful sunset in Phoenix. And hey, if you're enjoying the show tonight, don't forget to come back tomorrow night. Jones BS Racing, 8:30 Eastern. Some of these same drivers like Richie Joplin and Russell Worth will be there, as well as Albie Hewins, and Albie is closed up now in a battle with Russell and Gerald Poole. Russell currently sits in 10th, Albie in 11th, Gerald Poole in 12th. These three are nose to tail, as well as the 4 ahead of them. But those 4 have started to spread out just a little bit. Mark Dantuma pulling a small gap here. Yeet indeed. I have to wonder if that being a Lexus has some sort of unfair advantage. We'll have to check the rule book on that. Richie Joplin currently in second, Tiernan in third. Let's see if we can see what happened to Tiernan, because there was a big gap as pit stop's about to begin. It looked like Tiernan just suddenly fell off dramatically. I didn't see him having any issues. We'll watch for a lap here and see. James Harris is the first in for green flag stops. Richie had been slowly but surely reeling Tiernan in. Tiernan loose there. Tiernan was way loose through there. Richie closing up the gap big time. And it looks like that's how he reeled him in. Tiernan is now on pit road. Craig Janzik still in the lead, but James Tiernan and James Harris both hit pit road at the halfway point. Craig Janzik, meanwhile, has a 4-second lead over second place, Richie Joplin. DP Riggins in third, Mark Dantuma in fourth, Steven Shepard now in fifth. Dantuma up 8 spots so far. Dantuma is headed to pit road. We'll keep an eye on lap times as the drivers come out. James Harris coming out on fresh tires is catching up. Quickly, he drops all the way to the apron and he'll have the speed and just flies by Nick Sorensen and William Mann Jr. as well as Steven Shepard. Fresh tires making all the difference in the world here. Russell Worth is on his way into pit road. Dantuma on his way out. Craig Janzik is about to lap Gerald Poole here. Meanwhile, looks like there's a battle up ahead. Albie Hewins. Mark Dantuma coming by on fresh tires. And I just now realized Mark Dantuma is driving a Ford, ladies and gentlemen. What a disappointment. Craig Janzik now lapping Gerald Poole on track. The top 8 drivers still have not been to pit road. It does appear like these guys are just waiting for the leader to drop in. And it looks like that is happening now. Craig Janzik heads to pit road. Steven Shepard and Gerald Poole were already in. Richie Joplin, DP Riggins heading in. Sorensen, William Mann Jr. and Albie Hewins still out. Will they come in this time? They did not. Sorensen goes by pit road, as does Jr. Nick Sorensen has claimed the lead for the first time, but looks like he is dropping down, headed to pit road. William Mann Jr. stays out. I think Sorensen was looking for the old pit road. Actually, it's been the same pit road. I think Sorensen was just getting down early. William Mann Jr. to the lead for the first time tonight. And if Senior is out there watching, buddy, I am so glad to talk. I was so happy to talk to you this morning. Looking forward to talking to you more in the near future. Glad you are doing better, and glad you're at home, and really glad you're retired. Can Junior play this strategy right, pull off the win for his dad? He's been trying to get one for his dad since Senior had the heart attack. He is the only driver that has not been to pit road. James Tiernan has pulled ahead of Craig Janzik. Oh! But Janzik looks underneath, gets a little loose getting into the corner, manages to hold on to it. Now Janzik to second. Tiernan looks back down to the inside though. Once Junior pits, this may be the battle for the lead. Or for the win, rather. James Harris now into fourth, Richie Joplin to fifth, DP in sixth. Mark Dantuma into seventh, Steven Shepard in eighth, Sorensen back in ninth, Albie Hewins in 10th, Gerald Thanos Poole in 11th. Junior has got to be hoping for a caution here. If the caution were to come out now, not many cars would be trapped a lap down, but he would have just outsmarted everybody. James Tiernan sits in third, James Harris in fourth, Richie Joplin in fifth. How much longer can Junior stretch this? Richie Joplin mixed into a little lap traffic. DP Riggins closing that gap. And Mark Dantuma reeling them both in. William Mann Jr., though, still staying out, still holding the lead. But that lead is now down from 20 seconds to 7. Craig reeling him in quickly. Tiernan trying to reel in Janzik here is not having much luck. James Harris out there alone for the moment, but Richie Joplin appears to be coming to join Harris. See if he can give him a hand. DP also on the march, as is Mark Dantuma. Steven Shepard now back to 8th. Junior is on pit road. Janzik has reclaimed the lead. Tiernan now in second. James Harris is going to pull up into third. This is going to be a question of how far Junior falls back and can he make up the ground in 25 laps. Junior just now hit his pit stall. 4 tires and fuel. He's going to lose at least 7th. Maybe even more. Meanwhile, Craig Janzik out there just setting a blistering pace. Nick Sorensen, the first car, 1 lap down, hanging with second place James Tiernan. Sorensen not in the GT3 race this morning. Just had to get a race in. Looking forward to seeing how he does the remainder of this season and in the future. William Mann Jr. back out on track in 9th place. Nick Sorensen about 7.5 seconds ahead. Closest battle right now, DP Riggins is 3/4 of a second and 1 lap car behind James Harris. DP trying to get past Gerald Thanos Poole. Gerald, though, currently holding on to 10th as Albie right behind him. He cannot give up a ton of spots here. There was a question coming into tonight how the battle would be between Craig Janzik and James Tiernan. I think that question has been answered with about 20 laps to go next time by. James Harris in 4th, now has DP Riggins right on the bumper. Mark Dantuma still reeling these two drivers in. James cannot hold DP off. DP just full sends it past him. DP now to 4th, sets his sights on Richie Joplin. Richie, meanwhile, continues to chip away at James Tiernan, but the gap is over 6 seconds. Richie still holds on to 3rd, though. Continues making his way up the points. Definitely going to pick up 1 or 2 spots here tonight. Janzik, though, first time in the league and supposedly the first time he has driven one of these cars in anger, has dominated tonight. James Tiernan currently in 2nd place, does have a little help with with Nick Sorensen right on his bumper. It's going to be harder to pass. Hey, Clay, how's it going, buddy? DP continuing to reel in Richie Joplin. 16 laps to go, 1.25 seconds behind. Clay, how was your weekend of playing music 24/7? Because that is certainly what it looked like, buddy. And I don't understand, Clay, how you can't give high fives when you're playing guitar. I mean, it's strum a couple times, real quick high five, strum a couple more times. Hey, good evening, Jacob. How's it going? Always a plus, Clay. Jacob, why aren't you out here tonight? I'm missing the 24. Craig about to come around in lap 7th place. Steven Shepard. Shepard scoots up high. Mark Dantuma in 6 has reeled James Harris into 1.5 seconds with 13 to go. Oh, that's right. I saw you were at the race. My bad. And loved the picture of the throwback car, Jacob. That 24 throwback car was a work of beauty today. Craig Janzik still has the lead. Tiernan in second. Richie Joplin in third. But DP charging hard in fourth. James Harris in fifth is about to have a mirrorful of Mark D'Antuma. Nick Sorensen is about to have William Mann Jr. there as well. These two getting ready to battle it out. Oh, definitely feel the exact same way. It should have been Jeff in that car. Craig Janzik's going to come around, get 10 laps to go. They're good on fuel. He went way further than this on the first run of tires. Shouldn't have any issues. Tiernan in second has 4.5 seconds now over Richie Joplin in third. DP, though, closing in quickly on Richie. James Harris holds fifth, but Mark D'Antuma is closing. Nick Sorensen, William Mann Jr. battle. Holy cow. Sorensen gets wicked loose there. Oh, he tried to get underneath Tiernan. Tiernan's around. Caution is out. What a... Wow. Oh, Sorensen just gets in a little too deep. Pushes up in. And Robert Winger reminding us it is always Richie Joplin's birthday. Oh, I hope so, Brandon. That'll be awesome. Somebody needs to give Craig some competition here. Now the question is, how many come in for tires this time? Our leader is in, likely to see all the lead lap cars coming in. Tiernan still scored in second. This may end up benefiting him. Richie Joplin in third. DP fourth. James Harris fifth. Mark D'Antuma in sixth. No, we'll see how they come off pit road. Richie Joplin still making his way down, as is DP. Both Jameses and Mark should see the lap cars coming to pit road next time. Every day is Richie Joplin Day is correct. Man, Robert, I'm doing great. How are you? Craig on his way off. Who will come out second? It's a drag race out. It looks like Richie Joplin's going to pull it off. No, Steven Shepard pulls it off. He comes out in second. Richie Joplin in third. DP in fourth. Tiernan all the way back to fifth. Harris in sixth. D'Antuma seventh. William Mann Jr. in eighth. Steven Shepard is back in. Man, it does move Richie back up into second place. I think Shepard was staying out to get to his lucky dog. That'll leave us with about 10 cars on the lead lap when we go back to green. This is about to get very, very wild out here. Does Richie Joplin, DP Riggins, we saw Tiernan try and hang with Craig. He couldn't pull it off. Can Richie or DP pull it off here late in the race? This could get rough. This may not be the last caution. Cold tires, and I'm not seeing a lot of drivers warming them up yet. Lights are out on the pace car. They stack up for the restart. And since it's going to be a quick one, how about on the restart, I stop talking and we crank it up for a lap. Plus, I'm probably going to need the breath here in a minute. Craig will get to control the restart once they hit the restart zone. Pace car is in. Down the straightaway, once they hit the restart zone, I'm going to shut up. You guys crank up the volume. Down into turn 3, headed toward that Geico restart zone. Here we go. Green back in the air. James Tiernan, using every bit of the track, pulls back up into third, right behind Richie. Oh, he drops to the bottom, back up. DP trying to close back up. Craig Janzik unable to break away as Richie Joplin and James Tiernan are running it down. Both of them get a great run. Tiernan looks down low. Tiernan drops back to the apron, so does Janzik. Tiernan back into second. Janzik still out front, 0.6 of a second with a lap and a half to go. Oh! Tiernan way loose off of 2. White flag is in the air. Richie sends it on the high side. Tiernan on the bottom. Janzik still out front through 1 and 2. Down the back straight. Holy cow, Tiernan's out of shape. He is pushing for all he's worth, but it's not going to be enough. In his first appearance here ever, Craig Janzik pulls off the win. James Tiernan comes home in second, Richie in third, DP fourth, Mark Dantuma, the biggest mover of the night, up to fifth. Okay. Janzik celebrating. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Richie Joplin. Hey, Richie, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
Hey, Newbie told you to send it, but obviously by that restart, you definitely sent it.
Yes, I sent it. I was going for it. I wanted to win.
Well, that was obvious. You and Tiernan had quite a battle going on.
Yes, he raced me clean. That's what I liked about it. So, that's good racing. I enjoyed it.
Well, man, another great race. You continue to march your way up the points, buddy, and congratulations. That was an awesome show.
Thank you, Doug.
James Tiernan comes home in second. And I do not actually see Tiernan. Looks like he may have disappeared. So we're going to try and get a word with our winner. Hey, Craig, it's Doug. You got me?
Doug, hello, sir. It's been a while. How are you?
It has been, man. And you come back out here. My understanding is this is your first time to really drive one of these cars in anger.
It is my first time with the Gen 4 since the update. I'm just finding Victory Lane over here. Yes, there it is. Hello. I figured I was just having a casual conversation with old JD Harris there. earlier today, and he said, "Oh, we got the Gen 4 Phoenix tonight," and I was like, "Oh, you got room for one?" Because in my head, I figured with the package, it was probably going to drive a lot like Xfinity car does here, just with a little bit more power, and I was exactly right. Kudos to Nick Ottinger for building Xfinity setups to feel like 900 horsepower cup cars, I guess. Yeah, it's a blast out here. Really happy to showed up and got some time in these things because they are very fun.
They definitely are, and I did get word mid-race there may be some post-race inspection, something about you being in a Lexus tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. It's a shame that somebody's in my number 3 that I couldn't use my normal paint, so I had to throw a number on a blank car real quick that I thought looked good because I didn't have time to design anything. So, hey, no worries. There will be an inspection of this, Toyota F1 inspired V8 that is under the hood, I'm sure, and we'll get through it just all fine.
Well, man, congratulations. It's great to see you back out on track and back in dominant fashion, obviously.
Much appreciated, Doug. Thanks. Good to hear from you as well. Shout out to you guys at HTSAI, and thanks to James for putting this on, and Lee Performance Industries for your Hawkins Morning Show, Team Conti, everybody that helps me get in the simulator every day. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Congrats.
Thank you. Take care.
James Tiernan came home in second. We're finally going to get a word. James, you came home second, but a wild comeback there.
Yeah, unfortunately there at the very end kind of got spun a little bit, and the guy I think was racing for position from the guy behind him, so I don't necessarily blame him for it, but yeah, I had to make a last minute comeback up to second. I don't think I had anything for the leader really at any point in that race. I just made a couple of mistakes. I think I burnt my right rear off too much. I think I'm too used to maintaining that right front, and kind of overestimated that and instead burned off my right rear, so ended up where we ended up, and I'm fine with second.
Yeah, it was a wild comeback. That restart was amazing, and you were using every bit of the track from the bottom to. It looked like you were kissing the wall out of 2 a couple of times.
Oh, I did a couple times for sure.
Well, it paid off, man. You managed to come back, finish second. Congratulations, buddy. That was awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Again, thank you to yourself in the broadcast booth for doing this whole deal, as well as Subbies for being the main sponsor. And that's awesome that we can get sponsors in virtual racing. That's pretty kick-ass. Oh.
Well, man, congratulations. An awesome night, buddy.
Yep. Appreciate y'all. Catch you around next week.
James Tiernan comes home in second, but Craig Janzik, his first time in the lead, gets the win. And, man, that was a wild, fun, unexpected race for sure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. See you tomorrow night for Jones BS Racing, 8:30 Eastern. Y'all have a great night.